How you guys doing? It's Done from Any Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Titan 2. Really, just some issues that I see with it. I just wanted to kind of really talk about some things that kind of frustrate me with the phone today. I will say my overall experience with the phone has been great for the most part. Like if I had to do like pros and cons, my pros far outweigh the cons. But today I do want to focus on the cons because I think that if you're somebody that you don't yet have the Titan 2, um, that could actually, some of the cons that I'm mentioning could actually be a reason for you not to get it. And I'll actually say that one of the cons actually kind of I'm taken back by, but let's get to it. So the first con that I wanted to mention about the Titan 2, and I do want to say that before I bought the Titan 2, like most of you out there, if you have it already or if you don't yet have it, many of us, who want to get the Titan 2 or the Titan 2 Elite, which my wife pre-ordered, one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to, of course, watch different YouTube videos and read up on it as much as you can. So some of the cons I was well aware of, and I knew in advance. But sometimes like you hear a con and like and you think, no, that person's probably just being too harsh or probably just nitpicking. It's not that serious. And so one of the cons about the Titan 2 that has really frustrated me to the max is that the Bluetooth on the phone, right? One of the things that I've experienced is that I use the Pixel I use the Pixel headphones. And usually on all my Android devices except for the Titan 2, the moment I open this up, they connect just like that. The moment you open this up, my, on my other Android devices, it connects. Even my Chromebook and my PC. And I think that's one of the things that frustrates me the most because if it's one thing that most of us primarily do, is that we use headphones. Well, whether you're with Apple or Google or Samsung or whatever headphones you use, whatever brand you use, most of us rely on headphones for a lot of things, whether it's listening to music, listening to podcasts, talking on the phone. One of the things that I realized that annoys me to the max about this phone is that every time I pop this open, nothing. And what's interesting is that on the back of the Pixel right here, I don't know if you can see it right here, it's a button. And if you press the button, if by any chance your Android device doesn't connect or anything, you hold that button and it goes into pairing mode. And usually on any other device, that will help it to pair. If it doesn't pair when you open it up, holding that button will make it pair immediately afterwards. But with the Titan 2, neither one of those functions work. If I open it up, it doesn't pair. If I hold the button, it doesn't pair. I usually have to actually go to the actual phone, to the actual settings, and go to my actual Pixel headphones and press connect. And usually it takes it a few seconds and then it connects. But it's like every time I use my headphones, I have to do that. And for instance, I got for you today, I have an on tablet that I got from Walmart last year. This is the on 12.1 model Pro. And I know people will probably laugh at me, but I got it because I only got it to watch YouTube videos and movies on it at Netflix. So I don't use it for anything besides that. Really, I don't use it that often unless I'm watching videos on YouTube and my kids are playing their Switch on the TV or they're watching a movie on the TV. I'll break out my on tablet to watch a TV show or whatever. So I only use it for that purpose, but I got it for that. But even if I flip this open, boom, it'll instantly connect to my on tablet like that. Like, yeah, I don't have to hold the button on my Pixel headphones to pair. And it's the same thing on my wife's tablet. My wife also has a tablet as well, where it connects to her tablet as soon as I open this as well. So that's one of the things that really frustrated me about the Titan 2 is that I don't know if that's something that they can fix in the firmware. I don't know if it's just I don't. What I'm starting to think is that, and this may be irrelevant. Somebody out there who's in the tech, you can let me know. But I'm starting to think that it might not be the latest Bluetooth version that they're saying. I'm thinking maybe it's probably an older Bluetooth version, which I mean could be possible. That's just one thing about this phone that actually frustrates me. Number two is that whenever I'm typing on this phone and I hit the back button, it'll delete like whatever. Let's say whatever line I text, if I have to press delete to delete a word, it'll delete like the whole sentence. And for me, it's really annoying. It's like, come on, man. And so one of the things that I actually realized a couple weeks ago is that I actually use the digital keyboard. Go to it real quick. I find myself using the digital keyboard more than I do the physical tablet, only because what I found is that when I use the digital keyboard and I hit the the delete button or back button 5 million times, it doesn't delete my whole sentence. I'm just being sarcastic. You know, if I hit it 5 million times, it'll delete it. But if I hit the delete button on the keyboard on the screen, it doesn't delete my whole sentence. But it does do that when I if I press delete twice on the physical keyboard, it'll delete my whole sentence. So that's one of the things that I've kind of realized is that because in the beginning what I was doing was I was trying to delete on the keyboard on the screen. I was hitting delete, then I was trying to go back to typing, but what you find out is that, like, after a while, you just naturally get back into the things of just typing on the actual physical keyboard. So it's like, well, if that's the case, then why do I actually need a phone with a keyboard if I'm actually just using the keyboard on the screen? At that point, I'm just losing screen real estate because this could help be a whole screen instead of a keyboard. So that's another thing that I realized that it kind of frustrates me about the Titan. And I know, again, before I got it, I had seen reviews on YouTube where people were saying that about it, and I don't know why Unihertz hasn't by now taken the time to release a firmware update to fix that. You know, it's just, again, even again, why haven't they released a firmware update to fix the Bluetooth issue? You know, and I think I was actually telling one of my buddies actually wanted to get the Titan 2 as well. He was one of the ones that actually kind of put me onto it because I had the first one, but I didn't know they were going to do another one. And he actually was the one that sent me the article, which is why I ended up getting it. But I got it before he did, and I was telling him some of the things they was doing. He was like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't. If it's doing all that, I don't want it." You know, because I think that one of the things, like I said, I realized is that, like, for many of us, we use our headphones. We're typing a lot, so we're gonna have to delete a word that we may misspell. So it's like you end up having to, by default, use the keyboard on the screen, because if you hit delete on the keyboard on the screen, it doesn't delete your whole sentence. So that's something that I also realized. And I actually used the Google, the Gboard, I believe is what it's called. The Titan 2 does come with a native on-screen visual keyboard, but I found that it was very not smart, if that makes sense. Like, for many of us, if you text people, most of us use certain words pretty often. So with I tried to use the Titan 2 keyboard for about 2 weeks, and I just switched back to the Google to the Gboard because I realized that it just wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't spelling the words that I use. It wasn't even like bringing them up on the actual screen. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. So I ended up stop using that because it's like, it's useless. And one of the things that I will say that I like about the Titan 2 keyboard, visual keyboard, is that it doesn't take up as much screen real estate as the Gboard keyboard does. The Gboard keyboard takes up like a portion of your screen, and I don't. Maybe there's an option in the settings where I could fix that. I haven't tried to. Don't really care that much. But for that sake, maybe I will look into that. But that's just something that I realized too, is that the native visual keyboard that comes on the screen with the Titan 2, it's not as smart, or it's not as smart as the Gboard keyboard. On the Gboard keyboard, oftentimes, many of us, we do talk to text. You can just hit the microphone button and it'll record. It'll text whatever you're saying. So that's a function that I use, and also with Google, specifically, is they have a voice recorder on their text messages now, where you can just talk and say, "Hey, man, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm driving right now. That's why I can't text you," and send it off, and they'll play it back and hear it. And oftentimes, me and a buddy of mine, that's how we actually talk a lot, is through the voice recorder through text. And I don't remember seeing that on the native Titan 2 visual keyboard. Maybe it does have that, but maybe I just missed it. But it's just, again, something that I saw that I just didn't really wasn't like my cup of tea. And one of the things I was thinking to myself is like, wow, in 2026, where basically we have AI this, AI that, they couldn't come up with a keyboard that was smart enough to remember the words that I type. I don't know. And again, maybe I'm just nitpicking. I'll say maybe it's me. Maybe if I would have used it longer, it would have learned the words and things that I type. Maybe that's just me. I don't want to say that. Maybe it's a flaw on my part and not the actual flaw on the phone. But for right now, that's kind of one of the things that I realize. Besides that, I don't really have any other flaws with the phone. Yes, sometimes when you go to certain apps, it doesn't really configure on the screen too well, so you're forced to kind of go mini mode, which will revert the screen back to how it will be on a regular smartphone, whether it was an iPhone or a regular Android phone. But even again with that, oftentimes when I'm watching, I'll watch YouTube shorts. I have like I'll show you real quick on the Google phone, on the Android phones. Well, I'll say Pixels. It has like a little news section right here. I'll type up, and one of the things that oftentimes it'll have like YouTube shorts on the little news section of the Google phones, and I'll go and watch the YouTube short, which is like you're watching it basically from a web browser. And it's like it'll cut off, either show a little small picture of the YouTube short, or you try to blow it up and you can see like just a person's eyes. I'm like, come on, man! Like y'all, like again, this is 2026. Y'all can't configure the phone to be able to get a full YouTube short without me just seeing the eyes. If I want to blow it up, it's like it's either too small or it's too big for the screen ratio. It's just like, man, it's just like wow, wow. And one of the last things I'll say is that really grinds my gears about the phone, is that like frustrates me about this phone, is that if you're watching, like, let's say you're watching a YouTube video or you're watching a movie on Netflix, and you're watching it like, and you try to do it the long ways like this, it actually like kind of shrinks the phone, or shrinks the video, so you'd be able to just watch it on like vertical. And one of the things that I've kind of wanted to myself is, well, why didn't Unihertz just have it so that you can actually just watch the actual video on just a full screen on this? I mean, it would be awkward, yes, but at least I would have the full screen real estate, because when you turn it this way, you don't have it, even though it's on the full screen, it's like watching a video in widescreen, because you'll see like the video, and the borders of it will be black. So it's like, come on, man. So you're like watching a movie or a video of YouTube full screen, where it's like really it's widescreen. It's like, I just think that, in today's world of everything being tech this, tech that, AI this, AI that, that's something that should have been easy to figure out, in my opinion. Because I know even sometimes, even so basically with video games, they can sort of use some type of smart scaling to scale the the image quality to make it look good. So I'm sure there's got to be some type of technology out there that can scale a video to make it at least fit full screen on this phone this way, and not have to go this way. Really, it's widescreen. So, I'm just that's just kind of a few of my gripes with the phone. I'll probably end up getting rid of it. My wife, like I said, she pre-ordered, her Titan 2 Elite. I told her that once it comes in, I'll play with it, and I'll actually see if it's riddled with some of the same issues that this one is riddled by. And if it is, I told her I'll just take, because right now she has a Pixel 9. I said, babe, I'll just take your Pixel 9 once the Unihertz Elite comes in. If I don't, if I don't like the Unihertz Elite, I'll just go ahead and take her. You can start using her old phone, Pixel 9, because she just got it last year, in November, so it's still fairly new. But she wanted a phone with a keyboard as well. I've enjoyed the phone for what it has to offer, and I think oftentimes what it is that we want to go back to like something that was like once reminisce, like old school. But I think that sometimes one of the things you realize is that, like, while a BlackBerry or a Sidekick was great for that time, you got to configure the fact that they didn't those phones didn't have the issues with, not issues, but didn't have you watching movies or videos on the phone, or trying to watch a full TikTok video on those phones, that they were basically just used for text and maybe basic surfing the web. So you were able to get by with having a keyboard in those phones back then, because the phone itself really wasn't too smart. But nowadays, putting a keyboard on an actual phone, one of the things that I've kind of gotten from Unihertz, just having the phone, is that, like, well, is it really optimal? It's like, and some people will argue, well, I got the Titan 2 so that I wasn't on my phone watching too much TV, or too much videos and TV shows and movies like that. And yeah, I mean, I would definitely will say that if you've got it for that reason, then yeah, of course it would fit you well. But even if you got it for that reason, the other issues that it has, you still can't really compensate for that either. So it's like, even if you got it for that reason, that's cool, but it's still, it lacks in a lot of other areas. Like, I'll give a perfect example, and this is my last thing. I know I said my last, but this is my last thing. On the Pixel phones, and I've just give it a background. I've been using Pixel phones since Pixel 3 XL. And my last phone that I had before the Titan 2 was the Pixel 7 Pro. Screen was cracked and it broke, which is why I was like, I'll just go ahead and get the Titan 2. I mean, because I was thinking about getting it, but I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and get it now because my screen was broke. It was still functioning, but as you touch the screen, sometimes it just wouldn't respond because I'm guessing the screen was it was damaged. So that actually made me want to go ahead and preamp and get the Titan 2 ahead of time. Now, I will say, I grabbed the Titan 2 3 days before they changed the price. Yes, I got lucky. And I saw that they kept announcing the price is gonna change. So I went ahead and said, you know what, babe, I'm about to go ahead and get that phone before I be paying $100+ more for it. So I went ahead and got it. And 3 days later, the price went up on the Titan 2 to it's like 4 something. So my last thing is that, like, on the Titan, I'm sorry, on the Titan phone, and again, it's something small. I don't want to make it seem like it's big, it's a big deal because it's not. But I think that when you say something is small, it's really a ease of use type of thing in, in my mind, to me. Like, so for instance, on the Pixel phones, if you see a QR code, you can just go to your camera and it'll come up by itself. You just hit the screen, it'll take you to the website. With the Titan 2, it'll pull up a link and you'll have to copy it and then go to whatever web browser you use and paste it. And I'm like, come on, Unihertz, really? In 2026? Is this what we doing? Come on, man. It's like, geez, man. Come on, Unihertz. And so it's like, it's just those combinations of small things. I think over the course of me having it, it's just like, it's like, because I think that, again, I'm going back to, even if you're getting the Titan 2 to stop watching movies and TV shows a lot, and to really, I guess, become more non-technical, because a lot of people are coming away from technology. Like, my wife has kind of bought everybody in our household like the first gen Nooks, because you can just put EPUB files on them. So it's like a lot of people are starting to go back to like Kindles and EPUB. And I'm sorry, not EPUBs, but go to Nooks to kind of, because having a tablet or a phone is a form of a distraction. So it's like, if I have this Nook, the only thing I can do is read books. So it's like, that's all I can do. So I've been reading books now for like 2 weeks on my Nook my wife got me for my birthday. Yeah. So for a lot of people, they're like, well, I got the Titan. Being on my phone is less of a distraction. Okay. And if that's your mentality, cool. I think it works. It'll work perfect for you. But I think, again, when I look and look at a lot of the issues that I have with it, it's like, I just don't. And again, they're small. They're really small issues, but the small things become big over time. It's like, I'm sitting in my car while I come in the house because I'm listening to a podcast that might not be kid friendly. I don't want it playing, loud on my speakerphone when I come in the house with my kids. I'm sitting there having to freaking hold the button on my Pixel headphones and try to connect to the phone, but it won't connect. And I gotta go to the actual phone and go to the settings. It's like, it's too much, man. It's too much. It's not really too much, but it's too much. And I think that it's like, wow, man. So yeah, I think that that's just one of the things that I wanted to just kind of not a review, but do a video of the Titan 2, some of the issues that you may encounter if you haven't had it yet. If you have it now, I would love to hear some of these issues. Have they affected you, or is it just me? Maybe I got a defective a unit. I don't know. So again, there from any interviews. Until next time, peace.